Hey loves, this is Bobby and I'm here with another video. And this is going to be my April TBR video, and this is going to be a little different than what you're used to from me. For the past year, almost, it'll be a year in May, I have done every single month TBR based off of readathons that I joined because I have so much fun doing them. The prompts really help me step out of my comfort zone and get in some really cool books, as well as getting into books that have been on my shelf for years. Well, I posted on Twitter a couple times asking for any readathons that were happening in April. I never found out about any of them, so I had to figure out something to do this month. So what I decided to do is basically a spring cleaning type of TBR. I will get into that in just a minute. But first, the only thing I knew for sure I wanted to do this month is I wanted to reread one of my absolute favorite series. This series means the world to me. The movies were one of the things that really got me into fantasy. And when I finally read the books, it just blew my mind. And it just really cemented my passion for fantasy and just the worlds they create. And that series that I'm going to be rereading is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I read The Hobbit on Tolkien Day, which is March 25th, and well, I did the audiobook for the very first time. I've reread that book numerous times, and I finally did the audiobook, and it was amazing. And I did the one that is narrated by Andy Serkis, who is the voice of Gollum in the movies, and it was phenomenal, and it made me just miss Middle-earth so much. And I got these absolutely gorgeous covers last month. You can see the unboxing video. I posted it on Tolkien Day, and it made me just want to dive back in, and I am going to be doing these. So this is the only concrete I know what I'm reading this month, which is called books, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get back into Middle-earth. I'm going to be doing the audiobooks this time around, and I cannot wait. So yeah, this is just the excitement I have to dive back into Middle-earth is just, oh, it's overwhelming me. I can't wait to get started. I'm going to start off with the Fellowship of the Ring at the beginning of the month. This is probably going to be my very first book of the month. Throughout the month, though, I will be reading The Two Towers and then Return of the King. I don't have a solid plan on when I'm going to be reading these, since I will get into the rest of my TBR in a second. I think, because I want to space them out because, I don't know, I feel like I don't want to do them all at once. So I think I'm going to start beginning of the month, middle of the month, end of the month, but I might do them all at once. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait. These covers I got from Nerdy Ink. I will drop their link down below. This is not affiliated or anything. These things are just absolutely beautiful. They are double-sided. They also have art on the inside flap, and they are so beautiful. I love these things. Okay, so for the second half of my TBR, I am going to be doing what I'm calling a spring cleaning. I am taking part in the Pop Sugar 2021 reading challenge. I always said I was going to do the Pop Sugar challenge, and I just never got around to actually doing it. I kept forgetting about it. This year, I am really set on doing it. The only thing is, I went over the reading, like the actual prompt list, once, and then I kind of never went over it again. And then I decided that what I was doing was just, I'm reading whatever I want, and then at the end of each month, I'm just assigning the books where they fit the prompts. It's been working pretty well, but if I would have actually dedicated myself to it, I would have finished, I think, already. And there's a couple prompts on there which I was having a hard time with, or there was a few there that I was like, I'll get to it, and I know I'm never going to get to it, so I need to do like a little bit of like spring cleaning kind of thing and get into these ones that I'm just not reading. So what I did was I put all of the prompts that I haven't filled yet onto paper, and I put them into this TBR jar. And then, of course, last minute, my friend Emma invited me to a Facebook group called The Book Democracy, and they do bingo style prompt lists, as well as a Connect 4 style and I think it's a tic-tac-toe one. And they give you a whole bunch of different prompts and you can just go off of it. This is my first time ever hearing about it or doing this, so I'm still a little confused on some of the things. They release the prompt list ahead of time, so you just don't know what board you're gonna get. Everybody gets something different. So I went through the prompt list on there, so I don't know what my board actually looks like, but there's a couple prompts on there that did fit in with the pop sugar ones, so I didn't write those down. But there are a lot on there that I know I would end up skipping over. Like there's nonfiction, there's just a straight romance, there's some like that I know me and I won't read them right away. So what I did was I wrote those prompt lists in here, as well as some of the really fun ones that I would like to get to. I put those prompt lists in here as well. And then there are a few books on here once I decided to do this kind of spring cleaning thing, because that's the one thing with all of the books on there. I want to read books that have been on my shelf for quite a while, and I'm really excited for that. So what I did is there's books that I always tell myself, I'm gonna read. So I wrote the name of those books down and I threw them here as well. And then I decided to throw in a few extra fun prompts. Like there's some that I put in here was, read that book that you keep saying you're gonna finish. Yeah. Read the next book in a series that you've already started. If you don't know, I am a terrible person that likes to start series and then never finish them. So I have a lot of series on my shelf that I have started already. Like I'll either have read the first one, the second one, even like up to the third one on some, and then I just kind of drop off and don't ever finish a series. So I threw some of that in there. I also threw in some fun skip a turn, pick 2 for your next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be picking out of my TBR jar to build up my TBR for the month. The only thing is that, so I'm going to be picking, starting off, I'm going to pick 6 prompts out of here. So this is going to be an ongoing TBR. Every Sunday I'm going to pick more prompts out. I'm going to start off with 6 because I read really varying amounts of books during the week depending on how busy I am at work. Some days, if you don't know, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Especially because at work I'm allowed to listen to audiobooks. Some days I'm super busy and that's all I can do is get in audiobooks. Some days I have like a 50-50, so I'll be really busy in the morning, so I'll listen to an audiobook. And then the second half of my day is I don't have anything to do, so I switch over to reading a physical book. So I get in a lot of books this way, and some weeks I get in like 5 audiobooks and like maybe 1 physical book. Other times I can get like 3 physical books and maybe 2 audiobooks depending on the length. And then I do listen at 2 times speed, so it can be all over the place. So what I'm going to do is, to start off with this TBR video, I'm going to pick 6 prompts. Every Sunday, I'm going to pick out more prompts for the following week. I'm going to keep myself at 6 prompts for every single week. So if I happen to read 6 books during the week, on Sunday, the video that I post, it'll have another 6 prompts that I picked from here. If I only read 4 prompts, then I will only pick 2. So it'll be all over the place. And then like I said, I don't know what I'm going to be getting in here. The other thing is, since I have some book names in here and some of the prompts can double up with books, so I'm not cheating. What I'm going to do is at the end of the week, on Sunday, when I pick new prompts, I'm not allowed to use a book that I've already read that month to count it. Like say the book says like it has something with the color green, and then the next week, I say I read that book, and then the next week I pick out and it says like it has an animal on the cover. If I read a book that is green and had the animal on the cover, I can't count it. That new week counts for a new one. But if I happen to have those 2 prompts in the same week, I can double up. So I can get all over the place when it comes to how many. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but I don't know if it actually does. So yeah, I could finish off, if I can assign 1 book to 6 prompts, then that's 1 book out of the way. Or that'll be the good time for me to read, to get in the Lord of the Rings if I do finish early on it. So I could be all over the place. I kind of want a madhouse of a TBR and just see how I like it. So we're going to pick out the 6 prompts first, and then like I said, on Sundays I will post a really quick video of me picking out however many prompts I need to get back to 6. Okay, so before we start picking, the first book I will be reading no matter what this week is going to be The Fellowship of the Ring. So let's get started. I am very excited. The colors in here aren't assigned any which way. I switched off all of the prompts while I was writing to the different colors. So all the pink aren't just pop sugar, they're all over the place. So let us get started. Our first prompt is Wolves of Kala by Stephen King. Oh my god, this already is not starting off good. I don't think my camera will pick up on it because it is so tiny. Okay, so here is the Wolves of Kala. Yeah, it's a very, very chunky boy. It is a total of 711 pages. I will be doing the audiobook for this one. I've done the rest of the books as audiobooks. So I am very nervous about this one. If you don't know, I was reading the Dark Tower series. This is the 5th book in the series, last year. I had read book 1 a while ago. I had reread it not that long ago, so I didn't read that one last year, but I think I read it the year before. Book 2 and 3 I read. I loved both of them. They were 5 stars. Book 4, though, I hated it so much that it threw me into the first reading slump I had had in a while. I did not finish the rest of my TBR that month, and it even carried on to the next month. I finally finished it with the audiobook while I was at work because I had nothing else that I could listen to, and I just like finished it. Ask me exactly what happened. I can't tell you because I don't even know. I just did not care. So I never picked up the next book in the series. I was just kind of done with it. I want to finish it though. It is a huge goal to finish it. So that was why I threw this specific title in the jar. Out of all of those prompts, I did not think this was going to be one of them that actually got picked. So of course it had to be my very first pick. Yeah. Thanks for that. Okay, so for the next prompt, we've got a pass. So that actually saves me because that'll bring my total down from 6 to 5 because that Wolves of Kala I am nervous about. So holy crap, this worked out great for me so far. Fingers crossed. The next prompt is going to be, wow, really? It is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I keep saying his last name wrong. So, really? That's the game we're gonna play. All of those prompts, and I pick 2 of the longest books. So yeah, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is another 700 plus page book. I have started this one though, so I do remember everything that happened. I started this a couple years ago, but I literally remember everything that happened. If you've read the series, or read the book, I am still when he is a kid, so I haven't even gotten past that yet. We follow the story of a young boy who ends up orphaned and he has to live on the streets, but we're being told the story by that same boy when he was younger. He is like said to be the best of the best. He's this amazing person and he's unstoppable, but he's running an inn now, or like a bar, if I remember correctly. And he's kind of telling his story from when he was a kid, but since we're getting the story told from his perspective, a lot of it seems very embellished so far. And I was really liking this. The one thing about this series, one thing about this book why I did not finish it is I found out that, well, I was kind of struggling through it because I just didn't care when he was a kid. I've heard that it gets a lot better. When I stopped, it was starting to get really, really good. But I had actually damaged my book. I took it to Disneyland with me and I never get on water rides, but the one time I did, I had a book in my backpack and it got damaged. So I had to wait for it to dry, and after that, I kind of just never picked it back up. And then I found out that everyone has been waiting years and years and years for the 3rd book. When it comes to that series though, it's so highly recommended and I have been wanting to get into it. It's just the fact that it's not finished is killing me, that I don't know if do I really want to get into this? But apparently I'm getting into this because this TBR jar is bullying me. Gave me a pass and then gives me 2 giant books for the first week. Come on, man. So for prompt number 4, read a standalone. I have wanted to get to this book. I am very excited for it. I got it as a gift. I've had it recommended to me from the horror book Facebook group that I'm in, and I have wanted to read this. I know it's a movie and I never watched it. I might watch it after I read it, but that is The Ruins by Scott Smith. We follow two couples who go to Mexico on vacation. They end up meeting other couples there, having a good time. Well, one of the brothers of one of the other couples goes missing, and they decide to help look for him in the jungle because that's smart. And when they go in there, they come across this ancient evil, and I know they get kind of like stranded on these ruins, and they're getting like attacked, and they're stuck up there for like days on end, and like if any of them try and get off of this these ruins, then they start getting attacked and stuff like that. The one thing everybody told me about this is that the characters in here are all awful people. I love horror where bad things keep happening to bad people. It's just something so satisfying. It's that kind of karma thing. I just love it so much. Also, I don't have this prompt in the jar because I figured it was one of the ones I was really struggling with, and I didn't put it in there because I'm like, I will come across a book that will do it. I'm going to be using this one for the Pop Sugar prompt of a favorite of yours that is based around a person, place, or thing. I'm using this for thing because horror is one of my all-time favorite passions. I love anything to do with horror. I watch horror movies constantly. If you haven't noticed, I love reading horror books, horror graphic novels, anything around it. It's always been a huge favorite of mine. I love it, and like I said, I love when bad things happen to bad people in horror. So I cannot wait to get to this one. I have been dying to read it for a while now, and I am so thrilled. Okay, so for our next prompt is going to be the 5th prompt, and I'm nervous. Okay, let's see here. The next prompt is continue a series. That is a pretty good one. Okay, so for the prompt of continue a series, I'm going to be going with The Wolves of Kala. This is the 5th book in a series, so I will be continuing a series, so that is that works out for me pretty well, seeing as I have, counting the Fellowship, which isn't that short of a book, but with this one and Name of the Wind, that is 2 prompts that I can get in with this one book, and like I said, this book is huge, and then with Name of the Wind, that is a lot to get into in 1 week, especially because I don't know about Name of the Wind if I'm going to have to read it physically or not. I'm hoping I get an audiobook for it, but I know The Ruins for sure. I'm going to be reading that one physically, so yeah, I am thankful for that. So for the last prompt for this first week, oh, fingers crossed, please have your fingers crossed for me. The next prompt is a book you meant to get to last year. Okay, so this worked out actually not that bad, because for this last prompt of read a book you meant to get to last year, I was supposed to be reading The Wolves of Kala last year because it was part of my finishing The Dark Tower in 1 year, which didn't happen. So there we go. This sucker right here gets 3 prompts in 1 week. That works out for me. Hopefully next week I won't have anything else that tied into this, but I think The Wolves of Kala was the only one that was cemented for this one, so that actually worked out pretty well for this first week. So this is the first week of April for me. Yeah, seeing as Wolves of Kala and Name of the Wind are both over 700 pages. So yeah, that's a pretty hefty first week of April. I am not going to lie, I am very, very nervous for this. So there we go. That wraps up the first TBR of April. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to see what the rest of my month is going to look like. I will be posting the next TBR on Sunday, so don't forget to click the little bell there. I will drop all of my social media links down below. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. I would love to know how you guys do your TBRs. This is the first time I've done a solo TBR without a readathon, so this is kind of fun, but also very nerve-wracking because this TBR already is gonna make me cry. But yeah, wish me luck, and as always, I'm Pavi, and happy reading. Bye!